What is up, everybody? Welcome to office hours. I am so sorry I'm running late. One, I just came from boxing. No excuse. So I was going to be late regardless, but I got here and my computer was in hard reboot mode and I have no idea why. And it took me forever to get the thing back up and running. So I apologize. I hope everybody is doing well. You got me sweaty and stinky, the real deal. Ready for office hours. So I apologize again for running late. Today's office hours, if you are new to them, welcome and thank you. For my old timers, thank you as always for being here. The way these work is that they are purely Q&A. So anything that I can do to help you, please just let me know. Type in your questions. I will also post a invite link here that you can use this link if you'd like to come on camera with me and do any conversation. So if what you've got to ask me is too much to type in, we need to discuss it, that type of thing, then use that link and you can just jump right on camera here and we will do a little call, okay? A little conversation, I should say. So welcome again. I see some new folks here. Very sorry, running late. And we will get this show on the road. Hey, welcome, David. Thank you, Rajesh. Good to see you, sir. Let's see here. Questions. What's up, Ricky Romero? Good to see you. Bill, how you doing? Awesome. New member of Leverage. Awesome. Blue Hawk Digital. Tina, welcome. Man, Tina, I'm sorry for all the challenges we had getting everything sorted out, but I'm glad that you are here now, and anything I can help you with, I would love to. Let's see here. Bill said, I'm wondering if anybody took the Go High Level order bump for Ads to Success Marathon Mastermind. Ooh, I don't know. I had not seen that. He's wondering if anybody would recommend or for or against Ads to Success Marathon Mastermind. I am not familiar with that, so I cannot tell you. So I apologize. Ricky, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. All right, let's see here. Any questions at all? Let me know. Let's see here. Paulson Thomas gave a webinar on not using HighLevel as your email marketing basis, that we should be using disposable Google accounts. Your take on that? Okay. I did not see the webinar that you're referring to, but I am almost sure what he's saying is that if you are using outbound, if you are doing outbound cold prospecting email, you really, there is no email service provider that wants you to do cold outbound email. Okay, it's essentially considered as, even if it's B2B, if you are doing it in bulk, it's considered spam essentially. Even though B2B, it is not technically spam, but if you are doing it in bulk, so like you're loading 500 emails into your system and just saying go, right? Then that is considered spam because it's bulk. So no email service provider wants you to do that. And if you do that through your HighLevel setup, so let's assume that you're using, any of the email service providers that you're using through HighLevel, you are damaging your account. There is absolutely no question about it that you are damaging your account. Okay. So what you want to do is I would do a totally separate outbound email system that I would use for my outbound email prospecting. I would not do that through HighLevel at all. So what I have done in the past is I have my main CRM, my main email marketing system, all that type of stuff. And then I have a totally separate system that I invest in for doing outbound emails. And that system is designed specifically for cold outbound emails. So what it does is it throttles the send of your outbound emails so that it's not going to trigger, the spam alarms, or at least not as much. Okay. So that's what I would do. I would have those things, two totally separate things. It's a little bit extra work, but if you use your main email account for doing cold outbound prospecting email, it doesn't matter if it's B2B, B2C, it doesn't matter. you're killing your account. It's just a matter of time. So yes, he is correct. You should use just good old, yeah. I mean, disposable Google accounts is a good idea. That's what I think most of those systems use now. Okay. What would that separate system be? So I have used, oh my gosh, look, I got to tell you, first of all, I'm not a big fan of cold outbound email anymore. And I used to be a cold outbound machine. Okay. I'm telling you, I built, business off of nothing but cold outbound for 10 years. Okay. Our business was like a role model of how to do cold outbound. So I'm telling you, I know how to do it. I know how to do it really well, and I would not do it. So I'm just going to say that first. The reason why I would not do that is the world has changed. Okay. When I was doing cold outbound, there was no Facebook. I mean, that's how old I am. I'm an old crotchety dude, right? There was no Facebook. Google AdWords had really just started getting momentum. So, you didn't have any choice but cold outbound. It was cold calling, cold emailing, direct mail. Okay. But the world has changed. When I was doing cold calling, guess what? People picked up their phones, right? When a call came in that they didn't recognize the number, they answered it because they were worried about missing something. That doesn't exist anymore. I have not answered a phone call from an unknown number. I don't have an office phone, period. I run multiple businesses. I have no office phone. And I do not answer inbound phone calls on my phone unless it's somebody whose name pops up and I know them. It's my daughters, my girlfriend, that type of stuff, right? So people don't answer their phones anymore. It makes it really hard. So you can do it. I'm not saying that you won't have any success. You will have some success. I'm just saying that you should not be focusing on that. What your focus should be on inbound marketing, content marketing, education, bringing people into a funnel and then following up with them. Okay. That being said, let's see here. There was a outbound. Okay. So I'll share with you here a couple of things. Let me share my screen. It depends on how aggressive you want to get about this. Let me share my screen real fast. If you want to become like a machine at this stuff, which I think you need to be, by the way, if you're going to do cold outbound, there's no point in like dabbling in it. Like you need to go for it because the numbers are working against you horribly. So CallFire, this is an awesome system. I use this. This system is like, you can essentially make 300 outbound calls and, leave voicemails, automatically send an email afterwards, stuff like that with a system like this. It's like 300 outbounds a day, which is a lot. So this is the type of system that I would use. And like I said, I'm giving you like the really pro systems. Phone burner. This is really badass. This is a great system. Yeah. So it took my team's calls from 80 to 100 to 300 plus. See, I told you I know what I'm doing with this stuff. Right there on the website, it says 300 plus. So that's the thing. Yeah, you can get up to over 300 calls a day when you're using this efficiently. So phone burner is really, really good. And then if you wanted one for just cold outbound email, gosh darn, I can't remember the name of it. I've been referring the same system forever. What is the name of it? Somebody can tell me. Somebody on this call probably knows the name of it because I have referred it so many times because it's the only one that I used for a long time. If I was trying, right here, reply.io. These guys are really good. As you can see here, they got all kinds of awards from that software review firm, reply.io. These guys are, I've used them for, gosh, I don't know. I think one of their very first customers, and probably used them for 10 years. So that's a really good option right there. And I think they have, I think that they are going to be much more affordable than Phone Burner or Callfire, but it's not going to have or at least it didn't when I was using it. It's not going to have the same integrated call plus email plus voicemail, yada, yada. I think this is pretty much all just email, outbound email. So those are 3 really, really good options for you. I would absolutely never do cold outbound through HighLevel. Okay. Ricky, my man, you ready to come on board? Awesome.
I'm ready to go.
Let's do it. How's it going, sir?
Hey, I'm doing really good. I've been progressing on all the, planning and all the things you told me to do through the course. I built my website based on one of your templates and, or your snapshots. And I have a question about the pricing. And then also, another question regarding that. Do you mind if I share my screen?
No, go for it.
Okay, thank you. Try to be quick here.
No, that's good. Okay. Maria, it's reply.io. Reply.io.
Can you see the site here?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. So, this is the template that you provided, and then I just added my own, stuff to it.
Looks great, man. Nice job.
Thank you. What I wanted to get to is the pricing. So I work for schools, colleges, things like that. They usually have a CRM that's not pre-built with all this automation stuff. It's just a CRM, and they pay like $150 to $250 a month per user. So with my plan, I'm going to do an unlimited users, per package. Yep. And essentially each package just adds more bells and whistles, all of it automated, except for the Accelerate package where I'm building blog articles for them, doing the Yext, stuff like that. So it's a little bit more advanced. Mm-hmm. So essentially, my biggest question to you is, does this pricing look okay? Is it digestible? And I also want to charge per location. And what that means is, like, if I have a school that has 4 campuses, then they're going to pay, $397 times 4, but they're going to get a discount for each campus for doing so. So that's kind of where I am. What do you think so far?
So I first I will caveat my response by saying I know nothing about this market really. Yeah. But that being said, I mean, the fact that you're including phone numbers, call minutes, text, email, software, all the the high level of, features and stuff like that at $397 a month. I mean, that already seems like a super good deal to me. I think if I'm a business and I'm looking out there and I'm comparing apples to apples to just like a software platform or multiple software platforms plus, phone and email usage and stuff, like it already feels like, well, that's a very reasonable price for all of that put together, for sure. So I would then say that same thing about the $597 a month as well. So I think that those two to me seem very fair price. Like I believe, trying to put myself in the shoes of a consumer who's looking at, okay, if we were to go out and try and get these things and cobble them together ourselves, how much would we be paying? Yeah, I think these look like very, very fair prices. And then the $14.97. So to get up to the $14.97, I'm getting the
primary. You're getting like referral campaigns, review campaigns, re-engagement. You're getting blogs, social media posts, and all of this is templated because I do work for that industry, and every beauty school, they just need the same blogs. Every massage school has the same blog, so it's very easy for me to write those or to have somebody write those.
I like that. I like that. I love the sound of that. That looks good. So again, going back to, I'm trying to think about, okay, if I were to pull these things apart and consider as a buyer, okay, well, if I was to get my software and then there's this social media person that I was thinking about hiring to hire our social media, and that's $697 alone per month, for a relatively inexpensive person or service, and they don't provide blog posts and yada, yada. So I put all this together, and to me, I think, yeah, they seem like very reasonable price points. I think that, my mindset with most small businesses is as soon as you get over 1,000, there's a psychological switch, right? It's kind of like under 1,000 is a price range that it's almost like one mental category. And then over 1,000 is like another mental category. So I think that you've breached that here. So you just got to be aware of that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it is something to kind of be aware of in your sales pitch. And then I think as soon as you get up to like that 2,500 a month, that's where somebody starts thinking about, I could have a part-time employee, right? Rather than hiring a firm, I could get a part-time employee or a junior employee for just a little bit more, yada, yada. So I think that's the way most small businesses think. So I think that you're in a good range. I think that $1,497, what I like about that too, is it seems like you've done an appropriate jump in your price to make sure that you're getting compensated for what you're doing and still have the margins in there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And to produce these, like the social media posts, it takes me literally 20 minutes per week to do. 20 minutes to do the entire month.
Yep.
To schedule it out. It's like ridiculously easy. So
yeah, I love it.
And I can do it myself, or eventually I'll have a VA who does, these kinds of things. But and then my question leading into the next step is, like, when I do the HighLevel setup, because I use HighLevel for their account, per location, should I have an account for them? Like, so if they have 3 locations, I have 3 accounts, or do I do one big account with 3 pipelines in it? What would you recommend there?
I think separate accounts, because they're separate physical addresses, separate people working at them, all that stuff, right?
Yeah, they have different teams and everything.
Yeah, I would set them up 3 separate accounts, 3 separate locations, all that stuff.
Okay, that's very good. Yeah, those are my only 2 questions. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Thank you. Thanks for jumping on. I think that all looks great. Nice job with it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, let's see here. Okay. Let me go through the questions here. Yes. Awesome. Rajesh, awesome. I like that. When you bluntly term high levels of marketing automation tools, revelation, the thing I'm pursuing in that space, building out automations for people like a service. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Let's see here. Yes. Okay. Let's start right here first. Actually, Mr. T, welcome, my man. Says, Mike, can you talk about how you would structure a free website funnel offer? Facebook blog, article, then landing page. So this is really cool, guys. I just this morning on Twitter, by the way, if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter right now. Twitter.com/mcooch. Go follow me there. I have decided to double down on content everywhere. So I'm starting to post on TikTok, Twitter, everything like that. I would love to have some people on Twitter. My Twitter audience that I built was like from literally 10 plus years ago. So like I have no engagement on there at all. I would love to get some fresh people on there who will actually engage with me. I think everybody that's following me on Twitter forgot who I even was. So anyway, I would love it if you would follow me over there. But this morning on Twitter, I wake up first thing this morning and I love this story. In fact, I'm going to try and get this guy on for an interview for my YouTube channel. But if you go on Twitter, you can see my conversation with this guy. So there is a guy who has built a very nice business, Mr. T, related to what we're talking about here, where he bought an agency that had that focused on doing websites for a particular niche, and then took that agency and all those customers and essentially migrated them all onto HighLevel and got them using the HighLevel SaaS. So now he's essentially got a SaaS business. And then I say essentially he has a SaaS business. He really has a SaaS business, because then what he did was he developed his own SaaS for that market as well. So he literally developed his own platform from the ground up. So he went from buying this agency that had a bunch of $70 or $100 a month or whatever it was website customers, and then put them all on HighLevel, developed his own SaaS, rolled it out to the same customer base, has been acquiring other agencies and plugging the customers in. And he's now up to multiple millions of dollars in recurring revenue. Has built up a very nice business. So, so the structure of a free website offer, to me, is just very, very direct. Okay. The whole point of making this offer is to make an offer so simple, so clear, just like smacking them right in the face with, hey, don't be crazy, sign up for this. Like, we're giving you a free website, right? So it's just very, very, very simple. So typically to promote this, I'm just like going straight from, whether it's an email I'm sending them or an ad I'm running or whatever it is, right to a landing page that is explaining the offer, and then giving them, you know, essentially two options. One is to just sign up, just buy the dang thing, or two, you know, get in touch with our sales team if you have any questions, and make that as easy as possible. Make it live chat widget, you know, things like that. Because probably the biggest challenge in this offer is just overcoming the skepticism, right? Like, what is this free website stuff? You know, somebody's trying to scam me, right? So like literally the copy, and you'll see this, Mr. T, if you go into the Services That Scale Mastermind and you go into my service blueprints and you look for my free website offer there, I've got marketing copy around all this that you can grab. But I literally like just come right out and go, no, really, it's free. This is not a bait and switch. This is our way of introducing us to more customers, because we know that if we do a good job with this, some of you will become, you know, bigger customers of ours, sign up for additional services and stuff like that. And so like, I just come right out and say that. And even though we're giving you a free website, you do have to pay for the hosting with us. And, you know, so ultimately over time, you know, we don't really lose our shirt. We end up kind of breaking even. It takes a while, yada, yada, that type of thing. So just explaining it to them so that you're getting through the skepticism. But I literally just take them right to essentially a sales landing page, a very simple sales landing page, and that's it. So you can absolutely also, you know, write some good blog content on what are the 10 must-have features of an effective website in this niche, you know, type of thing. And then have an offer in that blog post saying, hey, as you know, that we'll build you a website for free, you know, go here. But that go here still just goes to a very, very simple page. Okay. So I would take out, you know, just about any obstacles you can possibly take out in the process and just keep it super, super simple. Okay. Yes, exactly. That's exactly right, Rajesh. Yep. For cold outreach, you want to do that in a separate tool and then move them into HighLevel. Yep. Let's see. Bill says Leverage has a ton of training and Go HighLevel has a ton of training. Yes. Great question, Bill. Okay. You are absolutely right on all fronts here. So what I would recommend for a new agency coming on board HighLevel. So first of all, I would go through HighLevel's setup process and any training that they have related to that. So that will help you understand what all is in the tool, how it kind of works, and make sure that you get your account set up properly. Okay. Then the next thing I would do is I would go into my agency sales funnel bootcamp. Okay. I would do that next. Okay. I would do that next. And then I would, and here's why, is the agency sales funnel bootcamp. You'll get my R4 sales system, which is what Ricky Romero built his website from there, that website template and everything. The R4 sales system snapshot that I give you in the agency sales funnel bootcamp has your whole, you know, it's got website, it's got sales funnels with all your landing pages, your appointment booking page, your survey page. It's got everything. It's got all the workflows set up for you. It's got email campaigns, SMS campaigns, all set up for you. You just have to go in and customize it for you, but it's all in there. And the agency sales funnel bootcamp will walk you through step by step getting that stuff set up. So you will set up your sales process, and you're going to learn a heck of a lot about how to use HighLevel by doing that, right? You're going to get super educated on kind of the practical, okay, how do I use this thing? So, because it essentially touches on everything: workflows, campaigns, you know, funnel builder, website builder, everything. So I would do that. Next thing that I would do is, depending on your budget and how much you know already about like what exactly you're going to sell, who you're going to sell it to, all that type of stuff, I would go through the Services That Scale course or MSP Academy if you have the budget and want more personal attention. Okay. So this is what I would do next. Either the Services That Scale course, if you're like, hey, Mike, I need to conserve as much cash as I can, and I'm just going to try and go through this myself. Come on these office hours calls for free and, you know, ask questions, that type of thing. I would go through the Services That Scale course. Okay. If you say, hey, Mike, I'd like to get as intensive of, you know, kind of access to me and, you know, opportunity to get more hand-holding and stuff like that, MSP Academy. They're both effectively the same curriculum, but MSP Academy is the closest thing I offer to, like, I'll give you coaching, you know, small group. Okay. So that would be my approach. Once you've done that, you should be ready to be up and running and selling and stuff. You're still going to have all kinds of questions. Okay. You got to get used to that ambiguity and what's unknown, and just kind of get comfortable in that space as an entrepreneur. But after that, you got all kinds of resources from me that then you could access for like specific problem solving. You know, hey, Mike, I think I need to be building my presence in Instagram. How do I do that? Okay, go to my Instagram training. You don't need to go through my Instagram training to get started unless you know you're building on Instagram, right? So don't waste your time going through something that you don't need to go through. Okay. I hope that helps you, and obviously happy to answer any questions about that at any point. Okay. Let's see here. Scott says, Mike, you said no cold email through HighLevel, but you still recommend go HighLevel with a reactivation campaign. Yes, absolutely. Because reactivation is not cold, right? Reactivation is somebody who is on your list, has done some sort of interaction with you before, ideally has been a customer before, right? That's what reactivation is. So yeah, that's totally fine. Let's see here. Cool. I like that, Josh. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Talking about just breaking it down a little bit. Yep. Oh, cool. And I see you already saw that and said, thanks. Awesome. Blue Hawk Digital. Let's see, Mike, which go HighLevel foot in the door service would you recommend selling to home service contractors for a fast start to the first 10K per month as I'm starting my agency over with go HighLevel automations as the foundation? That's a good question. Let's see here. Home services contractors, foot in the door service that I could do with HighLevel. I think a free website offer I really like. I think a lot of those guys have terrible web presence, and you can make that free website essentially like a super website so that it really connects them over into HighLevel more too. So it's not just a website, it's a website plus it's got call tracking, plus it's got the web chat, plus it's got the lead capture with the automatic follow-up campaign, plus it's got the integrated calendar, all that type of stuff. So I would I would make the pitch to be about the free website and then make it a $97 hosting. And in that hosting, you're getting them into those basic features of HighLevel, and then they can upgrade from there if they want to, or they will be upgraded automatically based on usage, right? So if they're high volume enough in terms of the phone calls they're getting and SMS they're getting and all that type of stuff. But I think that would be my initial pitch. I think that that's the most attractive kind of appealing. Just trying to think of that market. I mean, so much of that market, you know, they get bombarded with like anything related to lead gen, all that type of stuff. The challenge with that market right now, I think that's Tina, right? The challenge with that market right now is that you know, they're most of them are already too busy, right? They can't hire any help right now. Nobody can hire any help right now. It's brutal, man. I tell you what, if you are a second tier restaurant in San Diego right now, you're getting hammered. You're getting hammered because you have no ability to hire, right? The only people that are going to work at restaurants right now are able to go to the top restaurants and make a lot of money in tips and stuff like that. So they're not going to work for the second tier restaurants anymore. And so it's pretty wild. Like they literally can't handle business. And a lot of the home service contractors are in that same position. So it's interesting. I think though the free website is the one I would go with. Free website offer. Richard McGrew says, have 3 packages on a funnel. Questions. 1, can we set the second step to reflect which package was clicked in the funnel? 2, how do we determine which package was purchased in the workflow? Okay, cool. Yeah, Richard, can we set the second step to reflect which package was clicked in the funnel? Yes. So if I understand this correctly, you're taking them to page 1. Page 1, you have 3 different package options. So they're going to click on one of those options and then go to a second page, you're saying, I think. So then that second page, second step in the funnel, you could, I mean, depending on what button they press on that first page, it's going to be 3 different links. So if they press button 1, that's linked to page 2, version 1. They press button 2, that's linked to page 2, version 2, page 3, version 3. I think that's what you're asking. And then how do we determine which package was purchased in the workflow? HighLevel just sees, you know, which package. So you can just, I mean, here, hold on real quick. Let's go into, let me get over to HighLevel real quick and I will. Sorry, everything is loading up here because I told you I had to do a hard reboot of the computer when I started, or it was actually doing a hard boot on me, reboot on me. So let me just go into a workflow here and we can play with this real quick. So share my screen real fast. So if let's just go in here, add contact tag, add a workflow, a conversation, update field, membership, revoke, add a customer, update field, Google AdWords. See here, I don't use the trigger. I'm sorry, I don't use the shopping cart and HighLevel. I use Thrive Cart separately. But I believe, yeah, so order form submission. So you see right here, workflow trigger, order form submission. And then you would add filters. And that is where I believe, if that loads up, you would pick what product. Yeah, so in funnel, website, submission type, bump, opt-in, sale, ad filter, and then you would pick your product, I believe, if I had any products set up here, but I don't because I don't use it. But if I did, I'm pretty sure that that's how you would do it, just like that. Yep. Cool. I hope that that helps you. I hope that that helps you, Richard. I think that that answers your questions. Let's see here. Dave says, have you or anyone found much use for Go High Level's app feature? Hard to differentiate between what is white label, lead connector, and costs, etc. So Go High Level, I think you're talking about the mobile app, and you're talking about having your own branded version of the mobile app, right? So if you are not doing your own branded version of the mobile app, then your customer will download what I believe is called the lead connector, right? That's the branding that it will use when they're in the store to download it. It's been a long time since I've gone in there and done it, but I believe that that's the branding now. So it's not high level. So customers don't see high level. It's lead connector, right? And that app is great. I mean, I use the high level app all the time. If you then wanted to brand that app as your own and have it in the Apple Store as your own, then that's where you would pay that additional, what is it, additional $4.97 a month or something like that to do that. I think that that's what you're asking, Dave. And so it just depends on if you want that branded app. I personally, to me, I personally wouldn't do that, invest in that, unless I had my business like really going and solidly off the ground and I decided that that was worth it to me. I don't think it's something that anybody needs to do to, just get rolling. Bill says, I signed up for MSP Academy. Do you have a call like this for that? Yeah, Bill. So MSP Academy has changed. I've been kind of experimenting with it here over this last handful of months. So I have a weekly call that you have access to, Bill. It's actually called the Leverage Selling Mastermind. You get access to that through MSP Academy. So if you go look at the MSP Academy sales page, you'll see access to the Leverage Selling Mastermind is included. So at the bottom of MSP Academy, once you've gone through the whole course, MSP Academy is all about determining your strategy, your market, designing your services, okay? And then you got to start selling, right? So then I put you into leverage selling. Okay, leverage selling is my complete sales and marketing system. It's like a whole nother MSP Academy, but about sales and marketing, okay? Then I have a weekly call every single week for that leverage selling mastermind, because once you've designed your service packages, you really need to be focused on sales and marketing, right? So I've made the weekly calls about sales and marketing. You can get on there and ask me anything you want, honestly, but they're about sales and marketing, because once you've designed your services, and that shouldn't take forever. Like you need to put a timeline on that and then just get out into the market. The reason I switched to these leverage selling mastermind calls being the weekly calls, because I used to have MSP Academy calls every single week. The problem with that is what I saw was like people were coming to the MSP Academy calls for like 3 months and still not finishing designing their services. And I'm like, no. Like, guys, you got to put like a 30-day timeline on that and design your services and then go out and start talking to prospects. You're going to continue to redesign your services, but you need to do that based off of market feedback, not sitting around studying my course anymore, right? Like you just need to get out into the market and go and start doing some sales and marketing. So I made the focus of the weekly call sales and marketing through the leverage selling mastermind now that you get access to. And then what I'm doing is periodic cohort-based MSP Academy focus calls. So I just got done with Bill, I just got done with a 4-day intensive for MSP Academy members. That was the R4 Surge to SaaS bootcamp. That was for MSP Academy members. Okay, so if you just signed up and you missed that, the recordings are all available. So just go into the calendar in MSP Academy, and the calendar or the recordings are all there. But that's the way I do it now. So the answer is yes, you get access to weekly calls with me. They are sales and marketing focused, but I will answer any questions that you have about anything related to MSP Academy in there. Okay. Richard says the SaaS configurator allows us to define the snapshots that come with each plan. If we have several products or verticals, how do we select different snapshots for each product? You probably don't, Richard. You probably don't. You're probably trying to create too complex of a scenario for what the SaaS system will do right now. So my recommendation to you would be that you use the SaaS configurator primarily to sell the package, get the initial account set up with like permissions and things like that you want, have the right package of minutes, for SMS and email and all that type of stuff associated with it. And then just manually apply a snapshot to that account for whatever they bought. Since it sounds like you've got more variables there, what I would just do is when they sign up, I would say, okay, great, there's the such and such account, and then I would just drop in the right snapshot for that account. I mean, it only takes 2 seconds to load the snapshot anyway, right? So that's the way I would approach it. Awesome, Rajesh, cool. Let's see here. Jose says, I'm doing content daily. It's audio, which is easy for me to do since I spend a lot of time driving, kind of like Brunson's marketing in the car. My question is how to best repurpose that audio content. Awesome. Good for you for doing the content regularly. That's great. What I would do, so the problem with audio is just that it's harder to make to video. You can make a text-based, kind of a transcription video, or you could put it to some sort of stock footage, kind of thing with your voice over it. But unless you're doing like motivational stuff, that's really usually not that attractive to do. So if you can, Jose, if you can rig up in your car, a camera, so you're recording your audio and you're recording you talking while you're driving to give you some, presence that way. Cool. Obviously, be very careful and don't get distracted and all that type of stuff if you're doing that while you're driving. But the great thing about audio is, one, you can use it for audio, you can use it for podcasts and things like that, but easy to have that audio transcribed and then also turn it into, blog posts and social posts and things like that. So that would be the primary thing I would look to do with it. You can do, what are those, like the audiograms? So you can take your podcast and turn it into a little video audiogram. And take your audio and turn it into a video audiogram. So that way there is some sort of video element to it that has some interest, right? It's got a little, the little thing that's showing like your voice, talking and stuff like that. Like at least it's got a little something to it. But those are a little bit of a stretch, I think, unless somebody has a real compelling reason to watch, something like that on YouTube. They're probably not going to, right? So I would probably focus more on take that audio and turn it into transcripts that you can use then for blog posts, LinkedIn posts, Facebook posts, break it up and put it into Twitter, that type of thing. Okay. Let's see here. Thank you, Bill. That is Bill. That is in the Services That Scale Mastermind. The free website offer is in the Services That Scale Mastermind. There are service blueprints in there, and those service blueprints break down the strategy of the service, how to deliver it, how to sell it, and then I provide sales and marketing content and stuff like that to go with it as well. Okay. Kyle, my man, you want to come on board? Yes, sir. How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm sweaty and stinky, honestly, because I just got the boxing, but other than that, I'm good.
Good way to be. Good way to be. Okay. I'm really curious to ask you this because I know you just were at that like Grow with Video conference thing.
Yeah.
And so I read the book you suggested, which was phenomenal. The Art and Business of Online Writing by Nicholas Cole. And I've been kind of applying that approach more to video than to like writing per se.
Yeah.
And so just kind of posting, like just treating it like a volume game and then letting, looking for signal from the data. And so, like I've had a couple, like it's mostly just been around business and entrepreneurial things. And, but then I randomly just posted something that was just like kind of funny and self-deprecating. It was just like me. Anyways, it went like kind of viral, like 400,000 views on TikTok. And so I'm curious what your take is based on, your recent experience at the conference. Like what might you do with that signal going forward? Or is it like maybe just kind of like a random, like just keep kind of going, keep experimenting? Yeah. I don't know. Do you have any, it's my question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I think that what you did there was great. Because what was talked about at that conference, and welcome Jimmy, my man was at the conference with me.
Hey, Jimmy. Hey, man.
Yeah. So, one of the things that was talked about at that conference that, is always important to keep in mind is just that, entertainment is always bigger than education.
Totally.
Right. Entertainment is massive. It connects to people in a different way. It connects to a much, much broader audience. So when you can use entertainment, which is what you did in that video, and you did it in a way that, emotionally connected with a lot of people's kind of, fears and anxieties and things like that, in a fun way. You're appealing to a much, 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 much broader audience by doing that. Now, a good percentage of that audience, unless you decide that that's the route that you want to go. Like I want to be Kyle, the guy who does content about a little bit more motivation and psychology and, and all that type of stuff. If you wanted to go that way, awesome. Keep cranking out more of that content. That's a huge market. The way that you will monetize that will probably be different than what you're talking about, what you've been talking about doing, right? Mm-hmm. The way that you would monetize that is probably more through just AdSense, YouTube's AdSense program or TikTok's, because you're going to start getting such volume that you could actually start making money just from people watching your videos, right? So if you watch Evan Carmichael spoke at the event, and he's brilliant, by the way. And his model is freaking rad, right? I mean, he just takes other people's content, puts a little intro on it, puts an exit on it, and then is making millions of dollars on other people's content. He takes a bunch of Grant Cardone speeches, does an intro saying, hey, if you really, want to live your best life, Grant Cardone can show you how. Here's the best clips from Grant Cardone teaching you how to live your best life. And then it's all Grant Cardone for 2 hours. I mean, that's smart as shit, right? So he's getting paid on AdSense, right? And making a lot of money. Versus, you're doing more, if you were doing more agency work, then a huge percentage of that audience is never going to apply to you. Mm-hmm. It's still not a bad thing to do, though, because any attention is good attention. I think that's one of the things that a lot of us have to get comfortable with, right? Yeah. If you can get 500,000 views, that attention is good. It's going to have some probably halo effect that you can't even anticipate, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not going to have as direct effect if it's just Kyle running his agency in Victoria, right? But let's say you wanted to expand and you had an info product that you wanted to offer that was something related to marketing, something related to entrepreneurship, something related to sales. I would take those 400,000 or 500,000 views every stinking time I can, because a percentage of those people, because it's Kyle, who's the entrepreneur guy, are going to look at the rest of your content and go, oh, Kyle does this, this is a fun kind of motivational psychological thing, but it's really about his life as an entrepreneur. And he's got all these other great videos on entrepreneurship and sales and marketing. And let me follow that guy. And what else does he do? And he's got this info product. That is a trail that will absolutely get followed by a decent number of people. So you can turn those broader views that you're getting into some income that way, right? So I think it just depends on what you want to do with the strategy of your content and your business. I would say the strategy of your business first, and then the strategy of your content to follow. If you said, yeah, I want to go into some of these more broader business model arenas, then that type of content I think is brilliant, and make sure that you continue to do it. It's very much like Gary Vee, right? Gary Vee very strategically recorded the, do you hate Monday? Do you wake up on Mondays and want to vomit and yada, yada? It's because you're not, living the life the way that you should be. Quit your fucking job and, go start a company and live a better life and yada, yada. He did that because he knew that the attention that it would get huge, and a percentage of that would then go, who's this Gary Vee guy? What? He runs the social media agency? Oh, well, if he can create content like that, we should hire him to do, content for us. And so, that's a proven model for sure.
Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. May I share one other thought?
Mm-hmm.
I also, I really like what I've noticed Brendan Bouchard doing, which is like his stuff is very, motivational, inspirational. But then I see him on like Facebook driving, like retargeting me, I think, with ads that are more like, hey, do you want to build like your dream business in 7 days? And so it's like, I think that approach could kind of be cool too, where you like on the social platform, it's like, oh, that's where like people kind of like become aware of me and they like maybe like me, follow me. And then maybe on like an ad platform, I can retarget them and say, hey, like join this webinar to, I have no idea what, but anyways, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think that, look, one of the things is if you have a broad offer related to making money or living your best life, like Brendan Bouchard does, right? They're very broad offers. He does a great job of, here's my book on how to live your best life, and then turns that into, well, if you want to live your best life, you probably want to build a business that then allows you to live your best life, right? Because how are you going to live your best life if you're working for somebody? So, and they're very broad. I'm not teaching you how to be in the agency business. I'm just teaching you how to build the business of your dreams, right? And he does a very good job of that. So a huge percentage of people that watch that motivational message about living your best life will translate over into his offers. Those retargeting ads, are going to work really well. Mm-hmm. The more specific your offer is, the less the motivational stuff is going to translate. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Still could translate to a nice ROI for you. Just got to experiment to figure that out. But it's still going to be a smaller percentage.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Cool. Really appreciate it.
I love, I love what you're doing with your content. Keep it up. I think it's like you said, looking for signal and just like taking the feedback of the market that comes your way and continuing to adapt. And, that's what we're all doing. It's interesting to watch, right? It's interesting. I got to tell you, we'll talk about leverage selling mastermind this next week, but like seeing the different engagement on the different platforms. So like using that Hype Fury tool, mm-hmm. I've been taking my tweets and publishing the exact same thing in LinkedIn, and man, I get a ton more engagement right now on LinkedIn
than Twitter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Exact same. You take the exact same content, post it on Twitter, post it on LinkedIn. I haven't used either of those in 10 years. Like I literally have not touched Twitter or LinkedIn. LinkedIn, it was so funny. I got back in there. I was like, I don't even know how to use this thing. But I'll post the exact same content one or the other and get a lot more engagement in LinkedIn. LinkedIn, and that was one of the things that was talked about by Gary Vee at this conference, he said TikTok and LinkedIn right now are the two arbitrage opportunities, attention arbitrage opportunities for sure.
Cool.
So,
cool.
Yeah. Something to keep in mind. Post those videos, post your videos over on LinkedIn and see what happens too.
Yeah. Okay, man.
Thanks. You know, they're rolling out a shorts thing too. LinkedIn is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. That's good to know. Yeah. I've posted some stuff on YouTube shorts. But yeah, that's good to know.
Cool, man. Cool.
Thanks very much.
Awesome. Absolutely. Thanks for coming on. All right, let's see here. Dave, no, I don't think there's an easy way to duplicate accounts. Nope. Awesome. Yep. Absolutely. Kale says, where do agency sales funnel and service fulfillment boot camps fit with MSP Academy? You get access to both. If you're in MSP Academy, you could not be in MSP Academy and sign up for each of those individually. But if you're in MSP Academy, you get access to both of those at no additional cost. And in MSP Academy, you will get to a point in MSP Academy where it says, now it's time to go ahead and set up your web presence so you can take what you learned here and put it into a web presence so you can start selling. That will be your agency sales funnel bootcamp. Okay. So that's kind of how they fit together, Kale. Rajesh, for LinkedIn and Twitter, do you use personal accounts or business accounts? Personal accounts. Well, I guess I'm posting under my personal brand. So for LinkedIn, I just saw LinkedIn has creator accounts now. So I just turned on that creator account capability in LinkedIn just yesterday. Like I said, I haven't used LinkedIn in forever other than running ads. So I got in there and just started fooling around with it. And I turned on those creator capabilities. But this is all under my personal brand on both of those accounts. Cool. Let's see here. Got time for maybe a couple more questions, and then I've got to get running. My business partner and good friend, Billy Jean, has his big event in San Diego today where he rents out the Padres Stadium and does graduation for a bunch of his students at Padres Stadium. So I will be down there with him for that, having a good time. So let's see here. Blue Eyed Did It, Mike, thanks for the feedback. Can you recommend a better niche for Go High Level? I've worked as an event and wedding planner in restaurants, travel services, and day spas. Yeah, you know what? So, oh, awesome. Very cool, Robert. Make sure and grab me. I'll love to say hi. Yeah, anybody that's gonna be there, make sure and say hi. I'd love to connect. So first of all, let me just tell you, I love the contractor niche. I think that it's a difficult time right now, but I think it's a great niche. If I were in that niche, I would, Tina and everybody, I think you guys know, I run, oh, awesome. Good. Wendy, cool. I run There San Diego, right? So There San Diego is my local marketing business, right? So I think pretty much everybody is aware of that, but I'll share that real quick. So this is my local media business, There San Diego. This is what I run. So I love the idea of creating some sort of media property related to real estate, related to living in a particular market, homes, things like that, lifestyle, and using that as your vehicle to build a presence with the home services companies in a particular market. So that is the approach that I would take personally. I would create, so, you can see right here, Women in Jazz here is advertising on my site, right? I would create all kinds of advertising opportunities and sponsored content opportunities and things like that for home services businesses in a given market this way. that would be the approach that I would take personally as my foot in the door into that home services market. That is a totally different approach than what you may be thinking. But that's what I would choose to do. I love the media model, as I think the media model is the best foot in the door, period. When anybody asks me what's the best foot in the door, the media model is the best foot in the door, period. I don't care what you're selling or who you're selling to. So certainly if you're selling to events, wedding planners, restaurants, travel services, day spas, I mean, all you got to do is look at my There San Diego media property and you will understand very quickly why I have a great foot in the door to any of those industries, right? Because look, it's all about restaurants and parties and events and all that type of stuff. So, very easy for me to get my foot in the door with all those businesses. Awesome. Yeah, you bet. So that is what I would do. And like I said, I love the home services niche. It's a tough time right now, but I hate to have anybody run away from a niche that they're interested in, because of the temporary conditions. But if you say, hey, but I love, I was just doing the home services niche because I thought it'd be one where I could make some money, but I actually really like salons and restaurants and all that type of stuff, then I would definitely go after a niche that you love and you're interested in long-term, and, build around that, because every niche is going to have its challenges. Every industry is going to have its challenges. Like everyone's going to have up periods, down periods. So I would really highly recommend that you do something that you actually care about, and then just build what's best for that. So like I love restaurants. I love bars. I love events. I built There San Diego specifically because I know that I will be interested in those markets for the rest of my life. And There San Diego just gives me the best foot in the door in the world for all of those markets. So that would be my ideal recommendation to you. Okay. Awesome. Cool. All right, gang, I got to run. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time and attention and business as always. I have training on how to build a media property like There San Diego. I got to tell you, it's not publicly visible right now. It's called Local Media Launch Accelerator. I'm going to be relaunching. It's been a couple of years since I've really had it out on the market for sale. I'm going to be relaunching an updated version of this here, just, next probably 45 days. So I would recommend that if you're interested in that, just kind of stay tuned on that. I love the model. I love the model. I think it's the best thing. So I would love to work with you on that. Josh says, if working in a B2B industry like printers, is there a play to create a media property around that industry? Or do you go more towards a media property towards businesses in general? Yeah, Josh, I would probably in that space focus more on a community. Like I would try and create some sort of industry community. So like more like an association would be my approach there. I would build my own association of the, Printers of America Association. You don't need permission to have an association from anybody. So that's what I would do in that scenario, because they're just so kind of behind the scenes B2B. Cool. Awesome, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. And I will see you here very soon. Let's see here. Just so you know, I think my next office hours should be from Europe. Is that right? I'm trying to think if I can get my damn passport. I think the next one's from Europe. So yeah, like a circle community, but I would make it like an association. Like I have a website and it's the Printers Association of America. And here are the benefits. And one of the benefits would be, yes, like our circle community. Yep. How do we get access to local media model to use it? Kale, I would give me a little bit of time to relaunch that, is what I would tell you. Just be a little bit patient and then you'll hear about it. I'll make a big stink about it. Okay. John says, I love these. Thank you very much. Awesome, John. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys being here. Next office hours. Let me just check real quick because I'm not 100% sure. Office hours. Next one is, June 17th. So I will be in Europe. So that'll be fun. And that is assuming that I can get my passport because it is expired, but I'm optimistic. We'll make it work. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate it. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. And we will see you on the next office hours call and hopefully in the circle community in between now and then. Okay. Thank you, everybody. We'll talk real soon. Bye-bye.